Welcome, everybody, to another Sunday sermon. I am your host, Justin Biggs, along with Chris, no risk, no premium. None of us are financial advisors on this call, so nothing shall be taken as financial advice, pure opinion and entertainment only.
All right, what's up, guys? You've got No Risk, No Premium here.
Oh, God damn it. I always fucking do that. Sorry, guys. I muted Chris.
I'm back.
All right, you're back. Hey, let's go.
I'm back. All right, so cool. You got me, Chris, aka No Risk, No Premium, in our Discord. What is up, guys? We had an amazing week last week. Justin, go ahead and go to the daily chart, so we can walk through what the fuck happened to SPY on the daily chart. Listen, we said it all last week. Okay, zoom it out. Wow, that looks ugly. Get yeah, there we go. Money. Okay. So we said, y'all, the day we lost the 50-day moving average and we did not reclaim it, that we can go a lot lower. And we also said, hey, look at this nice old, this really nice head and shoulders forming too, right?
Last Sunday sermon.
And it broke, right? We said both things. We said that 50-day moving average broke. We have to reclaim it. And if we don't, we probably go down to that neckline around 452, right? 450, 452. And it did. And you know what happened after that? It was flirting around with that 100-day moving average, and it broke through that for 100-day moving average. So you know what it did after that? It said, well, where's the next biggest level? That goddamn 200-day moving average. So look at all of these last four candles, because last week was a 4-day week, right? What's the common theme there on all of them? All of them.
I think
Every
I know.
single one. I think Justin for sure knows because he'd been calling it out. Someone type into the chat. What's every one of those candles? What's the very most common thing of all of them?
They're red.
Somebody got. Okay, outside of being fucking red, you dickwad. Somebody type it. Top wicks. Alkaline said it. Top wicks. Exactly, guys. Now, what the hell does that fucking mean? Right? I'm gonna tell you right now. That means that the buyers bought that shit up and the sellers said, hold my beer, watch this, and then drove the motherfucking down, and that's why they got the red bodies. You guys see that, right? All four of the last red candles, every single one have a top wick to them. That means selling pressure outweighed the buying pressure. Okay, it's very simple, guys. When you look at a candlestick, think about it in that sense that, listen, buyers outweighed sellers or sellers outweighed buyers in this situation. If it's a green candle, there were more buyers than sellers. If there are red candles, there are more sellers than buyers. Do not fucking overcomplicate things. Okay? It's like trading is so simple, but we'd emotionally make it the most complicated motherfucking thing in the world. Okay, and we're all thinking like there's this one strategy that somebody has, and that's why they always win, and yada, yada, yada. And that's not it at all. It's really simple. So you just have to listen to us. Okay, so we said pop. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just think about like how many strategies that you think you're like, oh, this person has it, and you like try their strategy, and you're like, oh, it doesn't work. Then you try this strategy and this strategy, and you just like you still feel lost. It's like it goes back to the mental and psychology part of it. Like that's literally the biggest thing of it all.
Yep. That's literally a candle is a behavioral analysis of the market at that point in time of the trading day. Like that's it. It's super simple. Super, super, super simple. So now we said this. We kept saying what? If we don't reclaim X level to the upside, then we're going to go lower. We said that. I mean, I could go back and look at how many times we typed that into the chat. How many times Trell and I said that as we started on the morning call with everybody, right? It's been the same thing over and over and over, and they sold it the fuck off. Okay, and it also helped us see that we had a very nice head and shoulders pattern forming, right? So with that being said, guys, we all know what the fuck is about to happen this week, right? Like, we all know what's coming. We got the Fed. Okay, excuse me. We've got the Fed on Wednesday. Powell speaks at Wednesday at 2. I'm sorry. The statement comes out at 2 p.m. He speaks on his press conference at 2:30, right? On his press conference at 2:30. So, what do you think is going to happen until then? Well, if the trend is pop and fade, and the futures again have opened up green, right? Now that the futures don't matter till the morning, but what have we noticed about the futures all 4 days after the close? They popped up. It would only make sense. So, Justin, please tell me where the 200-day moving average is at. Is that 441? Okay. Would we maybe
441,
pop
yeah.
back up to there? Probably. We just broke through a major support level of the 200-day moving average. Do we back test it? Do we reclaim it? Maybe.
I
Maybe
mean,
not.
every one of these candles you see always pops
You
back
see
up.
it. So
It's the
look,
trend.
you could go all the way back up to the 50-day up there. The 50-day
Yeah.
we break below and it tries to regain and it doesn't, and then we go lower. Then the
Yeah.
100-day break through, try to regain it, go under. Now we're at the 200-day, break it, do we regain it? I don't know. Now we're going to zoom out one more, because if we decide to go lower into Powell, where could that be? Well, if these MAs are working so well, here's our weekly. That is the 50-day, right, Justin?
Correct. 50-day.
That is the 50-day. Where is that? 433. Okay. That's what I'd be looking at for potentially the next level. Now look at how perfectly does that line up right there at 433, 432 with the bottom of the bodies of the candles of the most recent dip over there on October 21. I mean, does that not line up on those bodies almost perfectly? That's funny how that works, right? So would that be major support? Oh, also, I think one thing we fucked up on, Johnson. Go back to the daily, because there's that huge ass volume shelf. Okay, so look where it closed at. The largest volume shelf, actually second largest, up to the top. So that is a huge supply zone. That is a huge supply zone. Okay. Supply means what? Support. Supply means there are, I'm sorry, demand zone. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I fucked that up. Please take that back. That is a huge demand zone. Demand means support. Okay. And the top, if you go up to the very top around 470, Justin, that's actually the largest supply zone on the on this chart, all the way up at 470. Yeah, you see the volume shelf. Can you zoom? Can you move the chart to the left? Yeah, okay. So you guys see that, right? You guys see that was the largest volume shelf. That is technically supply. Okay, there's a ton of sellers in there because that was resistance. We could never get through that and close and have any momentum above. Okay, so now we're at a huge demand area. Okay, so there's going to be buyers, and there's probably going to be a bounce back to 441. Okay, it would only make sense. And if we can reclaim 441, which was, 441 is the 200-day. If we can reclaim that, I would look to the where the open price is on Friday next. So the open of the body, 445. That's where I would be looking to possibly have some resistance. Okay. But here's the thing we just sold off so insanely heavy. And this was not retail signing. This was the fucking big institutional profit taking hedge funds, institutions taking the profits and driving the fucker down. Just look at the volume. I mean, it's just massive for this week compared to most other weeks. Okay. It was massive selling volume. The daily volume was huge as well. The daily volume on Friday alone was insane. Okay. It was insane. It was 202 million for one day. The average is about, I'd say 60 to 80 million. That's like the average. 100 mil is okay. There was a good amount of volume in there. We had 202 mil. Remember when we were talking in the middle of Friday, I was like, Drill, This motherfucking volume is hot as shit, bro. We're at 100 mil and it's like 9 o'clock. We're like 3 hours into the market being open and we're already well above our day, like what we've been doing for a day. Okay, so that was definitely a tell. So there's going to be a relief bounce. But what's the trend been, guys? It's been a pop and fade every single time. Like every single time. So this is not a time to overcomplicate anything. Okay, we're probably going to bounce tomorrow. And you know what? You could take calls and you'll need to know where your resistance levels are, because what are resistance levels? They're where you take profits. This is not a breakout market. We are not taking calls to the upside on breakouts. This is a downtrend. Okay. This is a downtrend. Now we know if support breaks, that it's going to flush it lower. That's what we do know. Okay. That doesn't mean you take puts at every support. You want it to actually show you and confirm it goes through.
Absolutely. Because
Okay.
I mean, we've seen SPY just completely V-shaped bounce, you know, and
Yep.
you'd get killed. So
Yep. Exactly.
you saw
So,
like
guys,
on Friday, all the premiums got killed from the puts.
yeah, they
The
killed
last
both
minute.
sides and took
Yeah.
it till like the last 10 minutes for anything to happen. Then we had that massive flush,
Yep.
right? They flushed it down. So where do we go tomorrow? I got no idea. Futures are pointing up, and it would make sense to open up higher and pop and fade again. Okay. So where are we looking at to the upside? 441, 444, 445. Wait, 441, 445. Above that, Justin, go to the daily. Sorry, so I can see where where's the 100-day at? 456 probably. No, 100-day. Yeah, right there. 456. I would love 456. Okay. But also now we can look at what's the white line. The 8 EMA. Right? Now what's the blue one? What's that blue one? Hold on, we got so many fucking things up. Oh, you got the 9 in there. You got the 9 EMA in there too. That's what it is.
I'm not even on I'm on mute. Yeah, I have the 8 up here. And then the 9, I added the 9. And
The 9.
then
Some people play both, so that makes sense.
exactly,
So those
but
two, the
they're
white and
so
blue
close.
stacked is the 8 and 9, right?
Yeah.
The white and 8 stacked. That's what I thought.
Yeah. So these are 8 and the 9. That's why I'm like, you either use the 8 or the 9. They're pretty much the same shit. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly.
But if you look though, it keeps bouncing off the 8 versus the 9. So like, I feel like it respects 8s more than
we
9s.
could definitely, we could definitely see a pop back. So where is that 8 at? Where is the 8 at? Route
453.
453. So I would be looking at this. First off, we've got to clear 441. I'd say 442 because it's at 441 and some change, right? Then from there, right, let's go and see if we can go get 452.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does it reject it? So that's what you're looking for. To the upside pop, you're going to be looking to fade. Okay. And this is just leading up into PAL. That's even if you want to trade. You don't have to. Why? Because we know the PAL is either going to rip us up 100 points or crater us another 100 points. It happens every fucking time. So you can wait all week and make all your money on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Because we're either gonna jump down to the weekly chart where the 50 MA is on the weekly, which was 43. I'm sorry, 431. I think just in the weekly chart.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, right. The green one, which is 432, 431, right? Interesting.
433. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I want to point something out too, Justin. Make it a little taller. So remember we were bring more of the chart in. Sorry. No, taller for sure, but bring more of the chart in. Yeah. Okay. Now, guys, call me crazy, but do you see a left shoulder? Do you see a head forming on now the weekly chart? This is not the daily. Remember, we had the head and shoulders on the daily. Remember? Now you see that left shoulder starting from about August, right? August all the way to October, left shoulder. There's a head. You know where the neckline is, right? You see the neckline is right where the 100-day moving average is, right? And where we're at, 432 to 436. Here's the neckline. Would it make sense for a bounce in this area? Yes, we are at the 50-day on the weekly almost, and we just broke through the 200-day on the daily. Very likely we could get a bounce. Now look at, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying we identified, did we not identify that fucking head and shoulders starting to form on the daily, but a lot earlier than I'd say a lot of people on Twitter did. Okay, we saw it coming. So it would make sense if we bounce here. Why? Because we've got the 50-day on the weekly, and we might reclaim the 200-day on the daily. Very, very, very possible.
But when
right? And look where the top of that left shoulder is too.
452.
Oh, 452. Wasn't that a level that we just gave?
Absolutely.
Isn't it getting a little scary now? 452. Look at that. That's where the little after the volume gap is there up into the shelf. Interesting. Okay. Now I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying this could be a setup that we let form and wait until the right shoulder forms, and then we'll fucking short this thing to oblivion. Just like we did. If you took the 400, listen, I have all of my options still up from Thursday that I have on my watch list. I have all of them up. We had the 45-50 puts that we took. We took the 45-20 puts. We took the 4,500 puts. And I'll talk about SPX. And all of those ended over $100. So if you would have bought one contract of each, if you took one contract each for all three of those strikes, you would have made 40 fucking grand.
And that's no stress.
And that's one contract each. That's 3 trades for the week. That's it.
Do less.
Bigger picture. Guys, that's why we're trying to tell you. See the bigger picture. Don't get caught in the motherfucking fluff in the middle.
Bro,
Guys, I call out 2 plays a day max. Why the fuck are y'all trading so much? I'm so sick and tired of seeing people, I'm lost, I got clapped, I'm chopped, I'm this. Look, we got people that can trade in this chat, and that's great. And you guys should trade a lot, and you're great scalpers, and you should make money. But if you're new to trading, you don't fucking overtrade. If you're not educated enough, you ask questions. That's why we're here. Everybody's very inviting. They're very approachable. We answer questions. We help each other out. But there's no reason for you to be risking your goddamn hard-earned money because you see somebody else making some money and you want to make some money and you think, oh, well, I'll just jump on right in. Got no trade plan, no concept of what's going on, and you're just going to burn your cash. I'll give you my fucking Venmo right now. Just send me the money. Because that's what you're doing. You're just handing it over to the market maker. We don't do that. Okay. We plan the trade and we trade the plan. So what's the plan, y'all, for tomorrow? I'm going to be looking, what the hell happens around 441? Why? Because that's where the 200-day moving average is. If we get this bounce, I'm going to see what the fuck happens. And I'll know this. If we break through, then we're probably going to go try Friday's open price. That's what I said, 445-ish, right? Okay. Then we say that. Then if that breaks to the upside, we're probably going to go try 452. Okay. So those are all areas where you would be looking to go short. All of them. Now, you don't fucking blow your load the moment it gets to it. Let it confirm. We're going to watch Apple. We're going to watch Microsoft. We're going to watch Amazon. We're going to watch NVIDIA. We're going to watch Tesla. And if we see all those stocks getting top heavy around those points, then we go short. But if there's a ton of strength and a ton of fucking buying, then we won't. Simple. Then the other part of the game plan is this. Do we crater down to 432 and bounce like a motherfucker off that 50 weekly? Maybe. On the weekly. Yeah, thank you, Justin. Okay. Then you take calls there. Because why? What did we say that was? The neckline. And it's also the 50-day moving average. So there's only 2 trade opportunities for you if you're going to be playing the tops and bottoms, which is what we've been playing. We have to do less. Okay. As a community, Like, I want you guys to succeed so bad, but I can't click and buy, but I can't do the buy and sell for you. I can just tell you what I'm seeing, and I can tell you when I get in a trade. That's it. That's it. And if motherfucker, I'm not over trading, none of y'all should be over trading. And that's just the goddamn truth. And you guys could get mad that I'm screaming at you right now, but you know what? I'm telling the motherfucking truth. And if you're upset about the truth, then there's nobody to blame or look at but yourself. Okay, that's it. Go in any other group except maybe 3 other traders that I know personally and have traded with personally, and they'll say the same shit I'm saying. Other than that, someone's going to tell you to go load some motherfucking calls for Friday on tech because the TNX is hot. The VIX is at motherfucking 28, and you're thinking about taking some weekly calls? No, we don't do that. You're thinking about doing anything long or short into PAL? No, you don't do that. You have learned enough. You don't do that. I mean, the Qs have basically just fallen off the cliff. But you look at the Qs as well. That's a pretty big support level right there.
Absolutely.
Look where it closed, guys. Look at where it closed at support. But the last level of support, really.
Yeah.
The Qs, guys, are the QQQ is NDX is like the equivalent for the index, the NDX. This is basically the tech sector. Okay. Basically the tech sector. We watch these also with SPY because they're all made up of a lot of the same stocks.
A lot of these, the dailies look like they're at the bottom, but the weeklies look like they have room.
The dailies are like, fuck, this motherfucker way oversold. And then you go to the weekly, you're like, ah, shit, it's not even really that hot yet. Like, go to SPY on the weekly, the fucking RSI is like not that hot, really, on the weekly, right? You're like, oh, you just crossed over that fucking the midline or whatever.
44, like 43, 44.
Yeah, so 50 is that midline, right?
Yep.
But you go to the daily and it's like fucking negative. Right? Like, look at it. It's finally dipped
25.
Yeah, so below 30, we guys know that, right? Below 30 is massively oversold.
So that's why I do see a bounce here. I do see us going lower, but with a bounce.
We have gone lower all week with a bounce all week, right?
Because
we have bounced all week and gone lower.
This is just like, there has to be some kind of a bounce.
But guys, the Feds and the institutional, they're not going to be doing shit till Powell either. Unless they already know what he's going to say because somebody's in bed with somebody else, which might be the truth. And he comes out and just goes, fuck it, man, this inflation shit's way out of whack. We're going to fucking 2 rate hikes in March. We end the taper and like, we're just going to let this shit crumble. Because if they do that, the market will be down massive. But here's the thing. You have to think about this. The Fed, although they're an independent private company from the federal government, the Federal Reserve I'm talking about, is an independent private company outside of our federal government. It feels like the Fed, the Federal Reserve, oftentimes has a lot of motivation to cooperate with the White House. And with the midterms coming up, you could see that the only thing that the administration was clinging on to, okay, was really having a really nice stock market at all-time highs. Well, that all went to shit in about 2 weeks. So does Biden get on the phone with Powell? It's like, motherfucker, you better not let this shit fucking crater. Because if they let it crater, here's what's going to happen. 401ks and Roth IRAs and retirement funds of the middle class will get liquidated. People will get scared. People will sell. And if we see panic selling, then we see what happens. We see what happened on March 2020. That was just panic selling. There was 2-hour wait times to get on the phone with your broker to liquidate your 401k. I know, because I have people in my network that were on the phone with them, and I called them fucking idiots. And they said, "You're stupid. You don't know anything. You don't have the same amount of money as I have in my 401k." I said, "This shit's gonna rip up, and you're gonna fucking laugh." And what happened? Motherfucker went 219 to 480, and I turned around and laughed at all of them because they liquidated and sold for a loss. I know a dude that had 250 grand and he sold for 80, and it would have been 600 grand now. Okay. So if everything this week is dependent on Powell, wouldn't you think it's the best idea not to blow your goddamn load on Monday and Tuesday when it really has no catalyst of anything to go on? Doesn't that just make sense? I'll be chilling. I'm chilling. If you took all of my trades in just this month, you're fine. You are chilling. Now it's not a lot of trades. It's not sexy. You're not buying and selling. You don't have 20 orders for the day. But day trading isn't that. The less time you can spend in a position, the better off you will be. The less risk you have. Just like gambling in fucking Vegas. The longer you sit at that table and gamble, the more favor the house has to win. The more times you enter and exit a trade, the more probability the house, the market, is going to win. Get in, get out, rob the goddamn bank, and don't look back. We ain't going to stick around to see if the fucking cops show up. That's it, guys. That is it. Let's look at the VIX.
Well, I mean, it's just like, day trading's been glamorized, but that's not like.
This is not the March 2020.
It's been proven.
It's not the bull run.
Time and time again that it's like, the long-term investments is what makes people rich, not the day trading.
Rich. So let's zoom out here. All right, cool. So we were kind of in a downtrend a little bit, right?
Oh, it's gonna shoot up. I feel like it's gonna.
Does it not look? Yeah. Does it not look like? Look, we've had a little breakout here. Now we could back test a little bit, which would mean what? The market goes up a tad to let it cool off and then bring it right back up. Okay. So Justin, look where the previous wick high is on the most previous breakout. What is that at? The wick high. No, I'm sorry. The one to the left of it, that breakout. 35. If we jump up another 7 points, SPX is at 4,000. Okay. And breaking above that is 1,000% a trend reversal, in my opinion. Go to the weekly.
It has room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's see what the weekly looks like on this real quick. Yeah, that to me looks like it's ready. It just crossed the signal line, right? Back on the most recent downfall. Crossed over to the downside, stayed above the signal line on the MACD, and now it's heading higher, and we just ticked green on the histogram. Okay. And if you look where that massive spike to 72 was, that's COVID. Does that look like a falling wedge from COVID? Low key? Huh? I mean, just saying. Now, I'm not saying we get back there, but you better be watching the VIX. Okay. TTM squeeze on the VIX is crazy. I haven't even thought to look at the TTM squeeze, Kapil. Make a good point there. What are you looking at on the daily? The daily just fired, but the weekly, I imagine, is probably. Oh my Lord! So you guys don't have. Oh, do you have the TTM?
Let's try this. I don't know if this is
because you know what that is. That's the same thing. So guys, the TTM squeeze is a combination of the Bollinger Bands and the Keltner channels, and that's what it said. It said BBKC. You guys see when it's red? You guys see the red dots on Justin's screen here? The BBKC squeeze. You guys see that, right? Look to the left, Justin, where it was red and then it clicked green before. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see that area of consolidation. Okay, that's consolidation. A red dot is consolidation. Think about it like trading in a price channel. Think about it like a springboard, like a spring. It's just been compressing it tighter and tighter. And each time it clicks red, the next dot clicks red. Okay, it just gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. So look how tight it was. So the moment that fucker clicked green, look at where it jumped from. Now we're in the same area of consolidation again. Do we get the breakout? And if we do get the breakout to the upside on the VIX, what does that mean for the market? Somebody type it in there, please. Shit hits fan. Yes. Yes, correct. But in market terms, Kapil, go ahead, do it again. Tank. Alkaline is right. We tank. Down. Yes, Tyler, good. down, guys. Because why? The VIX typically works as a what to the market? To SPY specifically.
An inverse.
An inverse. What is the inverse? The opposite.
Dude, you're
All
blowing my
right.
mind right now, honestly.
I'm fucking on one. We might have to post this and I'll send it into like the Joe Rogan podcast and he'll have me
Dude,
on. And then he'll kick me off because I cuss too much. Probably.
He's like, have you
Okay.
ever traded stocks on DNT?
he's like, they told me to buy AMC at 2. in a dream I had.
He's
you
like,
know?
but I didn't do it.
Yeah, but I didn't do it. So guys, we're looking at all these things. Now, the next news catalyst that is going to give us a ton of movement is Powell on Wednesday. Very, very simple. Now, the only other thing we have coming to go to Earnings Whisperer, Justin. Him. This gray-haired motherfucker. The fate of the world depends on him. And that's not real. That's not really like that drastic because low key, a lot of markets depend on our market.
Well,
So-
yeah, because we're based because it's OPEC spot on dollar.
Yep.
Everything's transferred
So-
with the US dollar.
So go to Earnings Whisper, Justin, because I think we actually have a couple of
Halliburton. Good old Halliburton.
do we have any tech earnings this week? Go
Apple, Microsoft, everybody's this
yeah,
week.
we have all of them, right? That's what I thought.
God damn it, Kapil.
I think Apple is Tuesday. Apple is Tuesday.
Apple's Tuesday, Tesla's what? Wednesday?
I think so. Let me-
I'll have to look. We'll look. Okay.
What the fuck? Why isn't it on here? It's Tuesday, yeah, right?
Tuesday.
We got Boeing. We got Boeing.
No, those are before because those are before market. I think they're after market or after close, right? Because you see, there's 36 donkeys before. You see what I'm saying? You have to scroll down. I think
Hold on.
right, the 25th,
Sorry, Apple is on 27th.
27th. That's why you liar, Capel.
God, you
I'm
made me-
sorry, my bad.
God damn it.
Ooh.
There is something on Tuesday though. Microsoft is on, I think, Tuesday.
MasterCard,
I wouldn't be.
McDonald's,
There's
JetBlue,
guys. There is a
Lowe's,
lot of big earnings this week.
Blackstone.
Yeah, Microsoft is Tuesday. That's what I'm saying. There
Microsoft
was something
Tuesday,
on
okay.
Tuesday, one thing on
Microsoft Tuesday, Tesla's Wednesday, Apple Friday. What day's Amazon? It might not be this week. Oh yeah, they're not till the next week. They're February 3rd, I believe.
Oh,
So we've-
Synchrony Finance.
So we've also got 2-1 is Google. Amazon is 2-3. AMD is 2-1. I wonder if Nvidia is in this area as well. No, they already had their earnings actually. No, yeah, they had their earnings. Just kidding.
So we got some oil. We got some
So these will be important ones to take note into.
MasterCard will be important. I think McDonald's, the airlines. We got some airlines.
I'm liking to look at these earnings. I wonder, is Dan on this call? Dan. I'm not seeing them. Dan. No, not seeing them. Anyway, Dan. I'll tell you guys what. Kapil knows this. He's been rocking with us for a minute. Damo's been rocking with us for a minute. Brian's been rocking with us for a minute. You guys know I don't play fucking earnings. I don't, because to me, I think it's gambling, right? And I told everybody, and I've watched numerous people since I've been in the group, long before a lot of you guys have come in. I've watched a lot of people lose their fucking hair over some earnings. Okay. And then Dan came in the group. And this motherfucker, Dan, let me tell you something about Dan. I've never seen somebody with an 80 to 90% win rate on earnings in my entire life, because I have about a 10% win rate. It's horrible. So I don't do it. But he is something else. He called the Netflix, which you guys didn't follow that on Friday. Or on Thursday, we had 8 to 14, 8 to 16 on Netflix. Okay. Then I sold at the close because I don't play earnings. I thought I'll probably rip this motherfucker up. Nope. They sold it off. Those contracts went from 8 to 120. That is $800 to $12,000. Okay. He
Wow.
also one of you guys know what he played? He played, there was another earnings that did the same thing, like where the contracts went in docu. Thank you, Brian. Docu. He played the docu earnings and called them to a T. Now, what he does, I really like, is he plays an intraday earnings where he is playing the implied volatility. Okay, which starts to rise specifically a lot on the actual day of earnings, meaning both sides start getting juiced up, right? So when that happens, it doesn't really matter the price action. The price of the contract will go up no matter what, because the premiums will rise, because part of the pricing of a premium is implied volatility. Okay, Matt says, what is Dan's name? Yeah, JT Gladiator in the chat. JT Gladiator, right? Cool.
I mean, you have to buy like a Netflix leap right here, right?
This is what, not yet.
I mean, fuck, it's
Soon, but not yet, because you got to see, it could crater even more on PAL. So, okay, guys, that's the other point I want to make. Okay, news trumps charts every time. You guys know what that means? News or a catalyst will trump a chart every single time. So what does that mean? Well, Chris, SPY is so oversold on the daily, it has to bounce. It can't continue to go lower. Well, you know what? If Powell says, fucking, we're gonna end tapering in March, we're gonna roll off the balance sheet, and we're gonna raise rates, we're fucking done. That motherfucker's gonna dip, and it's gonna go even lower. Okay.
you can just keep going. My bad. I'm just trying
Okay.
to
I
find
don't
this
know
video.
what Justin's looking at. Anyway,
No, I'm just trying to find this.
news can trump charts. You could have a cup and handle. You could have a fucking head and shoulders. You could have anything. And a news article will bust up that chart pattern every single time. It is undefeated. So with that being said, that's why we're going to chill into PAL and not do anything crazy. Okay, not do anything crazy. All right. But with that being said, Dan will probably be back in the chat. I imagine later on night, might be busy, and he's got a wife and kids and everything. So he will probably be looking, and I'm sure him and Brian talk a lot. Brian, he's probably been talking with you about some earnings coming up this week, I imagine, because you guys will probably play them. Oh yeah, we have a list. Yeah, okay, yeah, that doesn't doubt me. Does he have a channel yet, Justin?
Who?
Dan Gladiator, JT for the
oh no, I gotta make that.
Okay, we'll make that. We're gonna make that so you guys can see, and then Brian, you have a list for IV. Good. So you guys could basically just start talking in there a lot, and if anyone wants to follow your guys' play or just learn about the IV that you guys are talking about, because it's another strategy. It's another strategy of how to make money, right? These guys, they're not gambling overnight. They're not holding the majority of their fucking position overnight. They're playing the IV on it, the IV rise, which creates increased premium on the contract prices. So as long as you get in when the IV dips down a little bit lower, you're usually going to be in good shape. And
They're
I'm
not
sure it's
playing
more.
a heavy position either.
No, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're not playing a heavy position. Light positions for me, Brian says. That's what I'm saying. You play it light. I called out, I'm buying Netflix at 8, right? If your risk profile does not fit having an $800 position, you do not take the position. It's simple. It's very, very simple. We need to always continue to preach to you guys to always do what is best for your account. Every time. No exceptions. Be as greedy as a motherfucker as you can with your own account every single time. Okay, that is it. That's all I have to say today, really. I just screamed at you guys for like 45 minutes. Okay. I don't have any other stocks besides watching the index that I love or want to play. If this week is all about PAL, okay, then it's all about PAL, and that's what we're going to pay attention to. Justin, actually, one other thing I do want to look at XLF. Look at the financial weighted sector of the S&P 500, please. All right, cool.
I'll look it on
So
it.
guys, one thank you. One area of stonkies that does do well when the rates go up, which is what the Fed is talking about, is possibly having a rate raise with the money at what percentage rate the money is borrowed, is the banks. Because although consumer lending will go down or consumer credit will go down because nobody wants to get high loans or a loan at a higher interest rate, guys, there are tons of businesses that have to operate on leverage to make ends meet. It is very normal for a company to have to take 80 to a million to 10 million to 100 million out to cover payroll for their accrual accounting system to work. It is just a normal thing. Okay. It is very, very normal. Okay. So the banks still do pretty fucking well when interest rates go up. Now, the guys in the small account chat, if you have a small account, they do outstanding job in the small account. Shout out Brian, shout out 35 Millie, shout out JT Gladiator, shout out a few other names I've seen in there. They're taking these bank names because the bank contracts are so fucking cheap, but they go bonkers. Okay. I've seen a lot of bank plays. Banks are good. They're still good companies, right? JPM, BAC, Citigroup, right? All these good bank companies can see good earnings. Now look. So I love that you have I love that you had, go back to XLF, because look at the TTM squeeze down there. Does it look like it's ready to fire off again? It did fire for a sec and then came back. But so you guys see the blue histogram to the upside? That is a momentum indicator. That means buying momentum or upward momentum. Okay. So it's still staying above that. If you look at the MACD on the weekly, it's still above that. Go to the daily, Justin. I wonder if it looks any different. It looks bad. Looks like it was down. So it did already break out. So look, it's on a big volume shelf. Just keep this on watch. Keep this on watch. Long term, the banks do well when interest rates increase. Now, I'm not telling you to go take calls. I'm just telling you to watch this.
It almost looks like an inverse.
It looks like, well, initially, if they sell the market off, they'll probably sell these off with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just what it does. Because I don't know if you guys, they've been playing puts for the most part, I think. But yeah, 75 or 750% from JT on the last one. Yeah, insane. JT Gladiator kills it, guys. He is somebody who's definitely a leader in our group. He calls out great plays. He is a great trader. And I respect all of his call outs. That's why I took one of his earnings play. I don't play earnings, but I took one because I respect him. All right. Justin, are we missing anything?
No, I think what I would start doing is start putting, these big, tech companies, because there will be bounces. These companies aren't going like away, obviously. So like Square, obviously Apple, different things like Microsoft, just whatever, because these things are obviously oversold, right? Like 20 RSI is oversold. I don't care how you put it, like that's oversold. There's going to be a bounce at some point. So
this is the time when what does Warren Buffett say? You need to be greedy when other are fearful and fearful when other are greedy. Doesn't he say something like that? So what does that mean, guys? That means buy when others are selling and sell when others are buying. So think about the stock market as your fucking Black Friday. If everything is red and falling and going crazy to the downside, you go and look at your big companies. I tell everyone that always asks me, what do I buy? I go, well, you look around your house and you look at the stuff that you use every single fucking day. Well, you got an iPhone, right? Probably. Apple. You got a MacBook? Apple. Okay, cool. Do you go on the internet? Is Google your homepage? Probably going to use Google. Yeah. Okay. My fucking desktop computer is a NVIDIA chip. Use that all the time, right? Yeah. Microsoft, do you use Windows? Do you use Excel? Do you use any of that stuff? Yes. Okay. Probably going to be around. Cool. Amazon, do you have Prime? Yeah. Okay. So here's some companies that you use all day, every day. What is your bank? Oh, I have Chase. I have Bank of America. I have, okay. So these companies aren't going anywhere. They're selling them. That does not mean they're bad companies, but they are selling them. So they're on sale to add to some of your long swings, whether you got a Roth, whether you just have a long swing account, whether you have a dividend account. I don't know. Okay. But, Kapil makes a good point. SQ is probably moving down because they bought tons of Bitcoins with an average of 27. Bitcoin goes down. SQ is following. Yeah. So
You're right. It
all
is a
those
crypto
companies
play.
that thought it was super sexy and innovative to get in on these, to get in on the Elon hype, buying and putting on the balance sheet, right? They're all getting hit right now because they didn't buy where Elon bought, right? But, you know, I would say this. They're probably going to be holding long-term either, but there is a short-term correlation, and Kapil is right. A company like MicroStrategy, which is MSTR, their company, literally the only thing that they do, like literally the only thing they do is what? They literally just own like, yeah, they own Bitcoin. That's it. They own like 250,000 Bitcoin or something stupid, or probably more. Like, they that's it. That's literally the only thing they do is they own Bitcoin. So wouldn't their chart, it would make sense for their chart to look identical to Bitcoin? What happened? Has Bitcoin been dumping? Yes. So look at their chart. They're down 125 points more. Okay. Off the top at 800, 900, they're already at 375. Okay. So good point, Kapil. So SQ can go lower. Definitely can. Definitely can, for sure. But you want to start looking, even if you start just nibbling on a couple shares here and there. Anything is lower than last month, and it's on sale. I still think that these stocks, the tech stocks, are still going to be the way to go. I think buying Meta or Facebook, as much as you may hate the stock or not, the fucking metaverse is going to be a thing, unfortunately. Okay. So long term, I would think that would probably be a good thing to watch too. Maybe add that to your long-term portfolio watch list. I'm not telling you to buy right now. I'm telling you to map out the levels and say what makes most sense to you. NVIDIA, Microsoft not going anywhere. Microsoft is definitely not going anywhere either. Everybody uses Word. Everybody uses Outlook. Everybody uses fucking Excel, right? They also do a lot of other like great things, and they have government contracts. They're not going anywhere. NVIDIA is definitely not going anywhere, especially with the chip shortage, and they are the leader. Okay, and they make the best graphics cards, in my opinion. Okay, but I'm not a tech guy, so what do I know? All right. So look, what's that? The 200-day? Yeah, the 200-day down 220. Yeah, that's the 200-day. That's another 13 points down. Let's look where the 200-day is on a lot of these tech stocks.
No, I feel like, yeah, there's still a little bit of room.
There's a little bit of room to go.
All right,
Well,
I
that's
was
way
looking
underneath.
at
Yeah, go to Apple. Just see Apple. AMD for sure. Yeah, back to 108. 108 was what? That previous breakout area, right? 2.
Yep.
AMD finally got over 100, and 108 was a pretty big level. I remember when we played that. Kapil probably remembers when we played that back in the day too, when that AMD run went crazy. That was before a lot of you guys got in here. Yeah, you remember that,
I
Kapil,
think 95 to like what, 108?
130.
I think Demo was playing it.
Yeah, Demo was playing it. He was heavy on it. That's right. But it ran up to like 130.
What else did you want?
Oh, yeah. Look at Apple. Apple's got some
Apple was
room to fall, right? We said
128.
Yeah, Apple was at 130, right? And we ran it up to 150, 155. Remember that? Sherlin had like 17 layers.
Yep.
Yeah. So look at that. Apple's got some room. Now, you know, like Amazon's already way underneath its 200-day. Yeah, night.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft, I'm pretty sure probably has some room to fall a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Close. Okay, about 5 points. It's still above its 200-day. So of all these stocks that are comprised and make up the S&P and the QQQs are approaching a bounce level at the 200-day moving average, doesn't it make sense that the SPY is probably going to bounce?
On that 50
Yeah.
day.
Yes,
Yep.
it would make sense, right? So this is the things that we have to start paying attention to, okay? But this week is still all about Powell. I honestly think that they're gonna fucking sell off every tech earning, and they're gonna do that because all these funds bought way fucking long ago. That's just my observation. That's just how I think. That could be wrong, and if it's wrong, that's fine. But I will always be right as long as I make money. Okay. I will adapt and play what's ahead of me every single time. Every time. Every time. All right. It's interesting. Tech got a lot of calls. So they look there. Yeah, what's the red? Basic materials. I don't know. It's hard, guys. It's all about Wednesday. It's just all about Wednesday. Tomorrow and Tuesday could be range days. We could pop back up and just flirt and reclaim the 200-day and just close right around that area, right around 141, between 141 and 152. We could just hang out in there the next 2 days. They could take us right down to 433 and then bounce our ass back to 10 points up. Who knows? Got to see what the morning brings us. I think futures are up what? 27 right now. They're up almost 30 points. So SPY is technically at what right now? SPY is already back up to 441. Interesting. Isn't that fucking interesting? It's already back at the 200 goddamn day moving average. So if we open back above, it should either one, rip up higher to possibly 452, or we had 445 first, then 452, right? Or the futures reject the 200-day moving average right here, and it drops right back down, and we flip negative. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We have to wait till the morning. Okay, but we're at significant levels. Know your levels, guys. Understand the big picture, and it will help you focus on the smaller time frames. Okay, because when we popped on Friday, you could have went fucking long, and you could have threw the goddamn fucking kitchen sink at everything going long, and then you would have got wiped. We said that 200-day has a big bounce coming. God damn it, it did. Went from 141, bounced up to 148. 7 points, that's 70 points on SPX. Bounced. Then they cratered it how many points? 148 down to 438, 10 points down. Okay, so if we don't think that the high 448 isn't a level, it's definitely a level. Okay, but we got to get through 141, 145 first. I'm sorry, 441, 445, 448, 452. Upside, easy. Okay, simple. Simple. We will be live tomorrow. Okay, again, we're going to try to make that a regular thing, but we're not going to try to give too much information so that people are over trading. That is an issue that we definitely have. Okay, so we're going to work on some verbiage stuff where we could just talk about local support, local resistance, not absolute bottoms, unless it is an absolute bottom. Okay, and how to play the market on shorter time frames, but still remembering the bigger picture. All right, Justin, that is all I got, bro. I done screamed at these motherfuckers for an hour, and I hope they enjoyed it, and I hope they know it's all love. Okay, I hope they understand it is all love, because I want all of you to be able to make money in this market with us. Okay, because trading is not easy. Okay, it is not easy. If it was easy, we'd all do it. The bull market bullshit of 2020 is fucking over. This is where real traders fucking nut up or shut up. They put their big boy pants on, their big girl pants on, and they get to moving. Also, shout out all the women traders that are fucking kicking ass in our group, because they're kicking ass way more than the male traders. And that's just a fact. You can hate me or not, but they're fucking kicking ass. So shout out to all of you. You guys know who you all are. All right. Yeah, thank you. You said we needed this. Yeah, listen, we all need this, guys. There's a reason why I say it too. There's a reason I need it too. I need to remind myself. I love these calls because I get to remind myself. I'm also talking to myself too, right? All right,
Well,
Justin, that's it for me.
I mean,
I'm
it's
fucking
almost,
done.
I mean, it's human nature to sit there and say, um, you know, to trade more equals more money, right?
Yeah,
But that's like not the case. And you find that in the
not at
market,
all.
it's usually the opposite of what you think. So like that's just how the market goes. That's how you got to play
Yep,
it.
yep. You have to strike, get in, get out, and be done, right?
Yeah.
I took the contracts from 5 to fucking 9, 4 points. That's great. One contract is 400, 10 contracts is 4,000, 100 contracts is 40,000. Okay. They went to 40. I don't fucking care though. I don't care they went to 40 because I hit my goal. I did exactly what I needed to do from my account. Always remember to be selfish with your goddamn account every single time. If you ask somebody else what they're doing, you're probably going to get fucking clapped. Okay. Because their account is not your account. Their account is not your account. Their risk management is not your risk management. Their risk tolerance is not your risk tolerance. Their trade plan is not your trade plan. Every time. Okay. So if you have to ask questions about what's going on with positions that you're already in, it tells me you did not define your trade plan out, and you should have never gotten in the trade to begin with. Okay. Less is more, baby, every time. Yes, sir, Kevin. Said made over 300% total on 4 trades last week. So you telling me you made 1 trade a day average and had over 300%? I mean, that's insane. That's crazy. Where the fuck else are you doing 300% in a week? Guys, think about that. The S&P 500 and the indexes return 8 to 12%, 12% on the massively high side. Don't talk about the last 2 years of quantitative easing and no fucking rates. That don't matter. We're up 20 fucking percent. We've already given back 10% on the indexes. So don't talk about those. I'm talking about the last 40 fucking 50 fucking 60 years. It's like 8 to 10%. You're doing 300% in a week. You are outperforming the indexes. Fucking chill. He went 475 to 1,500 on 4 trades. But you know what half of you would do in the group? Oh, fuck, I'm going to turn that into 5K. I'm going to double it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go put 1,200 on a trade. And they get fucking clapped. Because you overtrade. Because you got greedy and you could not accept the base hits that you needed and have the discipline you needed to compound. Trell took $100 to $10,000. It took him 4 fucking months. But you know what it did? He is now a master at SPY. Master. Overly disciplined is how he is able to make a lot of money. Okay? Always be disciplined. Justin, I am done. That is it now. I am fucking done.
No, that's
Whatever
good. I
you
mean,
want,
I think
whatever you want to end it with.
I think this last thing I'll say is like, you know, going back to it's not, you know, the COVID bull run. Because if you look at this, you know, the typical time would be to buy at this level. And you can see it just keeps dropping. So it is definitely a pop and fade, smash and grab environment.
Yep. It's still all about PAL, man. You're gonna save it or crater. Okay. So why don't we let him just tell us what's gonna happen? Then you make your trades. So let's just chill, do less, and chill. All right.
Cool.
Very simple, guys. That's all I got. So appreciate y'all for letting me yell at you. It's all love. Always know that. It's always love. I expect only the best out of all of you, and I want only the best for all of you. Okay. I only learned how to get my ass chewed out to be better. So that's the only way I know how to teach y'all. That's how I respond to things. So it's always love. Again, if you're on these calls and we get a little fired up and you have children, probably put some headphones on. I apologize to the spouses. We get fired up. But it's all love, guys. I promise. All right. Take what I'm saying, not my emotion. Take my words. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you in the chat. Peace.
Peace.